following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, this is Ken Gidge, and this is The Art of Politics. Mr. O'Brien, Bill O'Brien, is not here again. He's traveling the world, and I'm sure he's spreading great deeds of Republican conservatism. But we have had, this is for the fourth show, Al Baldasaro, who is a Republican, a conservative. How are you?
Well, it's always a pleasure, and of course I sit right behind you. But I know you need to bring in the heavy hitters from the Republican Party, and that's what I'm here for.
And that's we're wondering.
That's right.
We're wondering where Bill went. You know,
Bill's out doing good things. He's earning a living since, you know, for the last when he was a speaker for 2 years, he shut down his law practice, lost a lot of money to be the speaker.
We lose a lot of money by doing what we. Well, you're a retired Marine.
I'm retired from the
so
Marine
you
Corps.
have
I have a retirement that comes in, and
Okay.
I'm also considered a disabled veteran there. I'm a Desert Storm veteran. But anyways, but I'm also, you know, like...
So you have money coming in?
I have money coming in, right? I can
Now,
afford to do
did you
this.
get your wife working?
No, yeah, my wife works. She's a very
there you
intelligent
go.
woman.
There we
You
go.
know, that's right. So it makes life a lot easier for me to be able to do this and give back to the community. But remember now, I served 22 years, 3 months, and 18 days in the Marine Corps. Yeah. So this is my way of giving back.
And the way you put it, you weren't really happy with all of it.
Well, I served. Oh, I was
with
honored.
most of it.
I loved it. I probably would have stayed in if I didn't break my pelvis and ribs and, you know, my.
And how did you do that?
I fell 55 feet from a tree.
What you see?
Yeah.
Drinking,
so,
couple
no,
beers,
no,
falling
no.
off the tree.
I was never much of a drinker, so that was never one of my problems there.
So why did you fall out of a tree?
Well, I was doing one of those cutting projects there, and it's a long story with a sad ending. You know,
Oh.
After 14 days in intensive care.
Do you realize that's the #1 way to be injured is with trees?
Yeah.
People who cut trees, people who get around trees when they're
Oh,
cutting
big
them,
time, yeah.
houses. I didn't, you know, that isn't, when I see people cutting trees, I just get away.
I do too. I won't do it anymore.
Called widowmakers.
Right. You ain't kidding. But you know, when I was in Desert Storm, I got operated on in a tent, Desert Shield part. And what happened is my side gave out on me because I was one of the first Marines in there to build the airfields up for the Harriers, helicopters, and F-18s to come in. And my side gave out on me. That it rushed me to the hospital and got operated on. They wanted to send me home, but I fought like a son of a gun. I went back to the war, tore my side out, and then after I got out of Kuwait, I flew home with my team because we were the first Marines in and got reoperated again. So I walk with mesh and swelling and every other damn thing on my right side. So it's one of those things, you know, life goes on. I'd do it again.
Well, it's interesting about Desert Storm. That's where you had a president who was Bush 1, who went to his generals and said, what do we need to do this war? And I think they said 200, 300,000. Right. So as they built up to 300,000, this scares the enemy. This is in the art of politics. Maybe a little book tells exactly what. Right. So and all of a sudden, when you guys started moving forward, people are going like this. I mean, there were people shooting. Don't misunderstand me. But boy, I'll tell you, it scared the hell.
Well, I was there right from the beginning, and you know, and then
How did it look
I
with
had-
all the oil wells on
Oh,
fire?
I was right in them when I flew in to run Kuwait International Airport after the Marines won the airfield, and the smell, it was dark. I mean, it was terrible. Enough of that. It brings back too many memories of seeing, bodies and legs and arms on the burnt out of tanks and other stuff. So that's another.
Yeah,
another
that's
time, so we
part
won't
of
even
that's
get into
part
that.
of being a soldier, and that's not the good part.
That stuff you never get out of your
Yeah.
mind, or what you see or what you smell. But anyways, as we were talking about earlier there with Bill O'Brien being, you said he was a conservative, strong. He's an American also, so I want to
Well,
remember
of course
that.
he's American.
Yeah, but the thing is, I want to make sure here because sometimes we put labels on each other.
No, he's an ultra conservative who gets his
He's a
preaches to the
conservative-
choir a lot, and when he sits down here, he's not preaching to the
That's
choir,
right.
and
He's telling them the
well,
facts.
I don't want you to tell him this, but he wins more than he loses.
Oh,
Okay, but I do win a couple.
Right, yeah, you do win. Well, that's because he uses facts, and you
Okay.
use
Oh,
whatever
come
you pull
on.
out of the sky.
Oh,
But anyways, him like me, we like spending our own money. We want government out of our house, out of our pockets, and leave us alone.
gee whiz, you got all these great one-liners.
Why do you think
want
I want
want government out of
Why
our
do you think I'm
pockets?
looking to run for U.S. Senate? Because Jean Shaheen is not doing nothing for us. She's voting
You
for.
know how to segue in right into
That's
things.
right,
So
right
you
into
get
things there. Because you figure that last budget they passed that they're supposed to be saving money. Where are we at? $18 trillion deficit, somewhere around there, going higher and higher every day.
No, I believe the deficit may
Is
be
it
going down.
No, it's going
No,
down.
No. You know why the debt ceiling goes up? Two
What?
things. Wars,
Spending.
bad economy. Hold on a second. Wars and bad economy. Within 10 years, we've got 10 trillion coming back by doing nothing. In other words, not fighting a war. Now, granted, you're a military
Right.
person. You know we got to re-up the military and all the equipment, etc.
Well, no,
But still,
but
10
they're not,
years,
But they're not doing
10,
that.
2 trillion.
Under Obama, like the Marine Corps was at 201,000 people. Obama, the cuts that he's done, just like what Clinton did years ago, he's cutting the Marine Corps down 175,000. Okay, we're a small branch, but we're a fast attack where we don't need.
Drones. What do you think of drones?
On the drones thing, I support the drones, but not in our country. I support drones, to be used for like GIS. Like my wife's a GIS, to fly in areas to do their, property lines
Yeah.
and things like that
Yeah.
on user because it's a lot cheaper to do it that way there than fly an aircraft. But to spy on Americans, hell no.
Well, California's doing that.
well,
A lot. Crime.
They use them on the borders. I would say on the border, but not in the cities because.
Do you know that you can go to Brookstone and for I think it's $289 or let's say $400, you can buy a drone
Try to small one.
that it's got four little motors on it,
Right.
okay, electric, and you can fit a camera on it, and you can run it with your iPad, literally, and I think there is 10 to 12 minutes, which is a long time.
Right.
I mean, if it goes, I think it goes 15 miles an hour, you can go out 3 or 4 miles, look around, and come back, and that's today.
See,
That's us.
my concern with those drones there is they get in the wrong hands here in our country because we know we have these, still Al Qaeda cells in different areas of the country that watching, and through the intel stuff, I'm sure. And these people want to kill us, whether we like it or not. It's nothing to put a little, dynamite or something on those there and fly it into something.
Well,
So we've got to really be careful on how many drones that we have flying.
Well,
plus the privacy issue.
well,
That's why I have an issue.
We go with that, but
constitutionally.
let's talk about drones, and let's talk about non-drones. They have today, no joke, 6-foot wing span
Right, they are
of
bigger.
gas
Right.
type engines that can carry about 6 pounds already. They don't go very far, but if one wanted to do some real damage, and maybe we're not doing the world any great favors by talking about it right now.
Right.
But having said that, that's already available.
Well, it was a good way for you to get out of change the subject on me
About
talking
you
about
running
Jean
for-
Shaheen on the damage she's doing to New Hampshire. And she was voting for Obamacare because you guys want Medicaid expansion, and you're going to fine our people, our low income that own homes.
Whoa. I'm not going to let you do this.
What?
Because O'Brien does this, and
Okay.
I stop him.
Do you want the
One
facts?
subject or the other subject.
Okay.
How bad Jean Shaheen is,
Let's
okay.
go into
and then
what she's doing.
Medicaid, and then Obamacare. Let's go to Medicaid first.
Okay, go to Medicaid
Medicaid
change.
first. You do not want it.
If somebody, let's use your.
Do you want it?
No, I don't support
Why?
it. This is the reason why. First of all, if you're on Medicaid, okay, you have to sign over your house and other stuff there that the government owns you now. You have to pay that money back.
You know something? You know what really surprises me? You're an individual who believes that everyone should have an insurance. The government is coming along and saying, look, we're going to help you out, but in the future, we'd like to be paid back, and you're against it?
I'm against
You're
that
against
because
it?
the people that get on the
And
low
then,
income.
by the way, that's not
because-
entirely correct.
No,
So let's
because
get
the
this
low
straight.
income people that get on this Medicaid expansion, they'll never give up. They will never be able to leave their home or property to their family. They'll be struggling all the rest of their life. Why would we want to
A great deal of these people don't have.
Are you on
they rent
commerce?
apartments.
Are you on commerce?
Yes, I am on commerce.
Why are we not passing laws that we can go across state lines there and team up with more companies to bring competition in?
Well,
here?
that's interesting. Bill O'Brien has a bill coming in to do exactly that. Are you
Did you
aware of that?
co-sponsor? No, I'm not. I didn't know that. Are you
All right, I'm one of the co-sponsors.
Oh, that's
of it.
good then. See, that's what we need to do. We need to look at we need to think out of the box in there and bring in more business here to drop down the cost of premiums. We're already ahead of the game than many other states on tort reform. We need tort reform throughout the
No,
whole
we
country.
don't. You don't need tort reform.
Why don't we?
Well,
Why with the suits that are going on?
I
and
know.
the-
Yeah,
you know,
I know. But it's interesting because we've gone through this in commerce. They'd come in and say we want tort reform.
But we
Okay.
already have a good system in place here.
Let me just stop you for a second. Let's just say you lose your leg and it's the problem of the company. Well, on tort reform, they say, okay, you're at this age, so your leg is worth $500,000. Now, the company does not want to admit fault.
Wrong, right.
So they get a lawyer, you get a lawyer, and by the time it's all over, you may get $250,000
Right.
for a leg. And that company can keep making the mistakes. When a company is fined 25 or 30 million,
Right.
that never happens again. Tort reform, it's just you're going to let the bad
Well,
people do it all the time.
I'd be willing to look at limbs and losing limbs and things like that. There's so many frivolous lawsuits.
Give me an
This-
idea.
To give you an idea on somebody slipping in a business there. Okay?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden sue them and then want millions and millions of
No,
dollars.
statistically, what do they get?
You
don't know?
No, I don't know. I've
$2,000 or
heard
$3,000 maybe?
Some the
No.
lawyer takes most of it, depending
Well,
on.
we know that.
It depends.
Lawyers.
There's been some cases, 100,000. Some,
Well, they don't
but-
get 100,000 unless they slip and a part of
Right.
the
But what I'm
store
saying
falls
is,
on top of them.
You're not getting what I'm trying to tell you. New Hampshire has a pretty good system put in place where they're not like other states that are out of control. Texas did the same thing, on their tort reform. So the cases have
Wait,
dropped.
isn't Texas shooting people or killing people more?
No. Matter of fact, Texas crime is low, just like New Hampshire, because of our gun laws. We allow
Crime
people.
is low in Texas?
Crime is low in Texas, yes.
Oh, give
Yeah,
me a
Maine-
break.
yeah.
And so why are they executing people all the time?
The highest crime in the country is Detroit. They're Democrat states. Detroit,
well, we
Michigan?
went over Detroit
um,
before. Detroit was
right.
a
But that's-
city of 1,000,000 something. It has gone down to under 600,000.
People leaving.
When that happens, guess what? You cannot run it without the taxes coming in.
Didn't
They
the
lost
mayor-
450,000 people.
Didn't the mayor of Detroit just recently come out and said he wants all residents to get put in for gun permits here to help keep the crime down? Because
I
the
don't
police
know.
can't be everywhere. That just happened recently.
You know, what's fascinating, I've always thought that the United States was the murder capital of the world. You know what it is?
What is it?
Venezuela.
Right. See, I never
Venezuela
come to my mind that we
it's
were.
all of America
Right.
plus Europe. That's how bad they are. And that's where Miss Venezuela of 4 years ago
Right.
and her husband,
Got killed. Right.
their car broke down, the tow truck came, and that's when
Right.
they robbed them. So
Have you ever looked at the
Venezuela instead of America.
That's right.
Guess what? We're not number one on that.
No, we haven't never been number one. I mean, look at these other countries like China, no guns at all, but yet they got more knife murders over there. People being killed with
Don't
hatchets.
say that. My son
Okay?
is over there. My son is over
Look at
there.
Europe
By
there,
the way,
Europe.
he came and brought his Chinese girlfriend.
Let's talk Britain. Britain has very strict gun laws, but yet they still have more knife murders and everything else. If they
Well,
were,
I know, but what are you going to do?
You know?
A, are you going to outlaw? Are you going to outlaw, butter knives? And then are you going to
yeah, but the
outlaw
thing is-
rocks?
but-
Why don't you just outlaw hands?
Why don't you
if
just?
you don't have any hands,
Why
you see,
don't,
how can
why
you
don't you
throw
just
anything?
let law-abiding citizens protect themselves? That's a constitutional right. You do know we have a
You
constitution.
want more guns?
No.
That you're just a guy.
No, we
I-
don't want more guns. What we want is gun owners, their families, to be able to protect
How
themselves, their
about gun
family.
owners who go to these swaps? Shouldn't they be at least their names taken down and registered?
Their names
that
are
they,
taken
they
down.
bought
Their
guns.
have you been to a gun show? When you buy a gun, their names are taken down. They just
And
don't
what
give you a
are
gun.
they doing
You're
with
required to
them?
show an ID card.
Oh yes.
And they do checks
but
also.
what do the people who sell the guns do with that information?
Well, here in New Hampshire, they do the NICS checks. You know, they do all the checks here in New Hampshire.
No, not for gun shows.
I've been to one there where they've seen them doing checks on people buying guns. Have you been to one and seen this, or are you
No,
just
I have
going on
not been to one.
hearsay?
No, it's not hearsay, for God's
Are
sake.
you just
Well,
trying
then
to
why
take
won't you
are you
pass a
taking a
law
guess?
making it as such? If they're already doing it, what's the problem of making a law to make sure they always
It's
do it?
already the law here in New
Oh,
Hampshire.
No, listen. And guess what? And what are you buy a gun from Jim. Jim sells the gun. He takes your name down. He puts
know
the
the-
name in the pocket. What does he do with your name?
Do you-
There is no law that says he's got to pass it in either to federally and/or state.
Do you know the law says that you have to know who you're selling to? You just can't sell to anyone, like run an ad and sell to somebody you don't know, okay? You have to sell it to somebody that you know.
Yeah, but look,
and then maintain the documentation
Al,
on your...
I can run into you, bump into you, and go, hi, I'm Ken, I'm Al. Yeah, okay, we know each other. You want to
Right.
buy a gun? Yes, you buy my gun.
But if you knowingly sold your gun to a felony or a friend that
Oh,
you
a
know,
felon.
right, a
Felon.
felon,
Okay.
we already have laws. Why don't we come up with a bill there, and you and I co-sponsor next year, okay? Well, I may be your senator, but you know, who knows? But what I'm saying is, hey,
this is his last term, ladies and gentlemen.
as a U.S. Senator, I would put a bill in right now to make mandatory sentence here if you're a felony and have a gun on your possession. Automatic jail sentence.
Really? Now, NRA, here he is.
Yeah,
You heard what
NRA,
he
take
said.
note.
Guess what?
If you're a felon and you have a gun, the NRA don't support felons with guns. If you have a
No,
gun,
they support everybody with guns.
and normally the one with the crimes, the ones that already have.
Not used as a gun, they support the not by not making laws against people with mental illness.
I would go a year or 2 year mandatory sentence if you get a felony got caught
Well,
with a gun.
that's what you would do, but guess what? That's not what's happening in your party.
Well, no, that's not true.
Is that true?
That's not true.
Come on.
We
The
do not-
NRA rules
the N-
you.
No,
you know
that's
it.
not true.
The NRA is
if
so.
if the NRA ruled me, then why would I stand here and tell you right on TV that I do not support felons having guns?
Because you're making a mistake. And
Oh,
you
is that
shouldn't
what
be
it is?
saying that at all. But I'm the only one of the only Democrats who went with the Republicans who wish to carry guns.
In the State House.
And the reason I did that was when I got there, they were carrying guns. The
Right.
old
Always
timers
have,
and the
right.
military people. They just that's the way they were. Cops, ex-cops.
That's right.
Okay. So when O'Brien came in and made it a House rule, okay, that everybody could carry or brought it to everyone's attention, a lot of nuts went out and bought guns.
No,
and you know it.
let's be honest now. You're not giving the whole truth.
You know, a
you
lot of
missed-
nuts went
you
out and bought
missed
guns. Who
a
were
section.
state representatives?
No, that's not
falling
true.
down the floor.
No, that's
hey,
not true.
look what I got.
No,
two
that's
of
not
them.
true. Representative Castor, there was an accident where his gun fell out of his holster.
And what did
It
he
was-
say?
I
Well, at
don't
least it
know.
didn't fall out of my other one.
Right. Okay, but the bottom line is he's been an avid shooter. His father took him out shooting since he was a
Well,
little
how
baby.
about the gun that slid
know?
by me? I'm sitting here like this. I feel something going. The gun is sliding down, and there's this guy trying
where
to.
was
go,
this
I'm
at?
just fooling.
Yeah,
I'm just
okay,
fooling.
that's
All
what I
right.
thought. But anyways, on the gun issue there, if you take a look at, let's tell the whole truth, but nothing but the truth. When the Democrats took power, when I first went up there, we had these lock boxes in the back. You can lock your guns up. Democrats took power, and the first thing they did was they had the House and the Senate. They said no guns in the State House. But yet, it's the people's house. There's no metal detectors. There's no nothing. Security don't have guns. I've had people call me at my house, say they're going to come with brass knuckles and beat the hell out of me over the gay marriage repeal bill. I've had other people say that I've had voicemails I brought to security that somebody's going to come up to the State House and take me out because they didn't like my comments, okay? Now, I expect me to protect myself and my family. I don't expect to wait for the police to show up. You may want to put your family
I know,
like
but
that,
we're
but I won't.
I know, but we're talking about people who.
But the
when
Democrats took that away.
When O'Brien brought that up,
He brought it back.
I mean, it was a House rule.
Right. The
And
Democrats
every
changed.
Republicans,
He put it back the way it was.
No, well, it was.
He put it back.
By the way, through the Republicans, it had not. It was not available.
Right.
In other words, it just slid through a couple of years. Nobody, until O'Brien came along and said, okay, what we're going to do is the House rule is that you could carry guns. Now,
He reversed Norelli's rule.
All right. So now what happens is you get 168 new people, never in politics before, having no idea of the politeness of how the system works, going out and buying guns for the sake of buying guns, carrying them.
Where is your proof?
It was
Wait a minute.
ridiculous.
Where's your proof that they went out and bought guns just to carry guns? Where's your proof?
saw.
How do you know they never carried before they even went there?
Because anybody who carries a gun does not brag about it.
Okay, and
I'm not going to ask you if you carry a gun, but you don't brag about it.
No, because it's nobody's business what I carry or not.
All right, okay.
But I'm able to protect myself where I have the right to be.
Well, but you know what I mean. People get a little oh, come on now. You've got to admit there was some maybe there was a couple Democrats who did that.
I know
really
Democrats
stupid.
and I know Republicans up there that have been shot all their life and they vote with us and support the right for families to protect themselves. And they have, in the state house there, we're probably the safest state house in the country because people are still able to protect themselves. When I had a heart attack, you know, at the State House, you know the first thing I got in my mind?
You had a heart attack at the State House?
I had a heart attack at the State House. I don't know if you knew that, but in October last year. The first thing that come to my mind was, I'm not going to sit here and wait for the medical to come get me. I was in pain, everything, my chest. I went looking for the nurse. I couldn't find. You know what I did? Knowing that, you know, that I know the 4 life-saving steps and other things to keep the blood flowing and all that, I get in my truck and I drove to Concord Emergency Room. And they told me they're lucky I did that there. If I waited for an ambulance, I would have been dead. They called the artery that I had blocked the Widowmaker.
Can I ask? Let me ask you.
But what I'm saying is,
we're in Concord,
where are the police?
And we can't get an ambulance.
The average time for an ambulance is 7 to 10 minutes. It took me 6 minutes, 5 minutes to get to the hospital myself. With the average time for a police officer to get to a crime scene, anywhere from 6 to 12 minutes.
Not in Nashua.
Okay, not in Nashua. Is it longer?
No, it's like 30 seconds.
Is it 30?
We have one of the largest police forces.
Well, that's probably why. You probably got cops in every corner.
I think it's even larger than Manchester Police Force.
But yet, Nashua, you have a lot of crime still.
Not really.
No?
We got people robbing the stores.
I mean, you
and
got a
stuff
lot
like
of rich
that.
people because you guys keep taxing them on gas and oil and everything else.
Oh, here
in
we
Nashua,
go.
you can afford that
Here
stuff.
we go. Look, you know, we need days, not hours or about 5 more minutes. But let us talk about.
If they're not killing ducks, they're trying to tax you.
Will you stop that? That was awful.
Did you see
what
the paper
happened to
today that
him.
I guess he pleaded? Dave Campbell pleaded no contest.
Okay,
And he got fined.
I did not see
He
that.
got fined $695 for 2 ducks, I guess, that got killed.
Why? Look, first of all, he didn't do this on purpose. It was by accident.
How is
Now,
it
hold
by
on.
accident when you drive through a bunch of ducks? Come on.
Where were the ducks?
They were in the road there where
They're
they
in the
normally
road.
are at the, you know,
No,
Crown.
they're not. Go there and
Oh,
you'll
come
see what I
on,
mean.
will you?
So he makes the front page of the Telegraph. He makes the front page of the Union Leader. He makes the front page of the, and then they write a cartoon, okay?
Right.
You know, and
I could
now,
see the Union Leader.
Give me a break.
I could see the Union Leader making the front page. They're moderate. But the liberal newspapers, they all put them on the front page. But you know the mallards.
That's awful.
Yeah, but you know the real truth.
awful.
Most people don't know that those mallards are protected by federal law, and if you kill or injure, you could be charged and fined.
Well, I know what happened, and
Were you there?
No.
So your third-hand information.
No, it's not. Look. First of all, I know the guy. He is.
I know Dave, too.
We're in the same ward,
Right.
so we run.
Dave's a good
basically
guy. I
together.
like Dave.
He's been at my house. I've been
Right.
at his house. He has not a mean streak in him.
You're right. I went to Canada with Dave
There was
on a
nothing
trip.
about drinking. It
Right.
had nothing to do with that.
Who brought up drinking?
Well, no, I'm just saying that nothing was
Right.
brought up about it.
Right, nobody did.
So nothing. So
Right.
he hits a couple ducks, and all of a sudden, there's a person yelling and screaming at him. He gets out.
And
He
that-
goes
he was a
over.
Marine.
He makes a few calls to let everyone goes back. The guy's still yelling and screaming. He goes home. The police
Actually,
call him, and they say, he says, would you like me to come up to you? I'll be right there. They said, no, it's not necessary. We'll get up with you. No, I didn't know he
Actually,
fled.
rumor has it, what I read in the newspaper, he didn't go home. He parked his car, walked to his office.
No, you're correct. His office,
right.
by the way, is
Yeah.
about 100
Right.
yards away from the hotel property.
Right.
So that's, his office doesn't mean anything. He didn't go back in the hotel. He went to his office and called the hotel.
Well, to us, of course, we're not going to let him live it down because we get duck calls for him. Did you notice some of them? And it's a joke because we like Dave, and Dave has a sense of humor.
Yes.
So some of the Republicans have the little ducks on their
Oh,
collar.
no.
You know?
All right.
But anyways, enough on that.
But you know, no, honestly, do you honestly believe that he would do that on purpose?
You know something? I've been through the Crown Plaza many times. Matter of fact, I was there last night at a meeting there. And when you see the ducks, you slow down.
Yeah.
He just kept going. So I don't know. I can't what his train of thought was at that time, why he just kept going.
But would you give him, because you know him, would you give him the benefit of the doubt?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt,
Okay.
yeah. He paid his fine. He's, said no contest and it's time, move on.
He didn't want to go to court, and I understand that with the front pages for killing 2 ducks.
That's right. But that don't mean I'm going to let him live it down.
Oh,
now.
no, I don't think anyone.
That's right.
But that's it.
Well, since we're
we've done
talking about
another-
killings.
No, wait a minute. We've got to say goodbye.
We're done?
We're done.
I wanted to get into fetal homicide and also violations on marijuana, so that's another
Well, you
show.
may be invited back. And by the way,
That's
you
right.
do a TV show, and you chicken not inviting me over there.
I
would
will
beat
be
the
the next.
hell out
You
of
will
there.
be the next guest on our
Oh.
show there because I need somebody to beat on. The Democrats have complained I intimidate them all the time.
Not me.
They gone to your speaker and how
Okay.
rough I am.
Telephone number. How can people get in touch with you?
Phone number 425-6997. Website is www.albaldasaro.com.
Facebook.
Facebook, just do a search of Reelect Al Baldasaro.
Okay, I'm Ken Gidge. Go to Gidge World. That's a website. Or go to 3D Gidge 3D. We're #1 on Google on that. You can get me at 864-9332. I'm also on Facebook, and well, I guess that's about it, Al. Hey,
It's always a pleasure. I
Thank
hope
you.
people are buying your art there.
I hope so too.
All right.
See you next time.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.